Hi, my name is Courtney and I'm here at PCC with Laura, who's going to demonstrate how to safely restrain and handle a rabbit for an exam.
Thank you. So our little friend has been brought in today in a carrier. Luckily it's a nice carrier with little clips, so this should make it pretty easy to take him out, assuming he doesn't come out on his own. So the least stressful way, which is what we want to do, is often just to open the door and he may come out. But I can see that he's turned around in there and that's not going to happen. So I'm just going to unclip all of these here. So here's our little friend. Now depending on what the exam is, we could just leave him right in here and the exam could be done. More often than not, they need to be removed from the carrier that they're in. So things to keep in mind with rabbits are their back legs are extremely strong and powerful. So you need to make sure that they're not kicking out into a bunch of nothingness because they can break their back, right? So things you can do to safeguard against that. I put my hand back here and hold on to their legs and I scoop him up and keep him tight against my body. So the other thing you'll notice is I kind of have his head tucked in here. This is kind of called a football hold. So he likes to have his eyes a little bit covered. He's very calm. There's no shaking going on. He seems, not stressed at all there. It's important to make him feel secure against your body and that there's something underneath him. Other things to be aware of, rabbits can be scruffed. Some. Don't restrain them by the ears. You may hear that. That is not okay to do. I don't do a lot of scruffing myself. I just mostly pick them up as I just showed you. So this little guy is being pretty good for us. Again, just gentle restraint. This is, low stress type stuff that we want to do. Keeping in mind those back legs at all times. It's not so much an aggressive thing, but more in defense. They can do a little boxing with their front feet, so I tend to keep my hands in front of those. Let whoever's doing an exam just kind of work their way around. So some of it is being intuitive of whoever's doing the exam. Just let them be a little bit comfortable as long as it's not causing harm to them.
Okay.
So other things, if you do have a rabbit that's being a little bit difficult, you can just kind of place this over his back. And we could tuck one underneath here. I'm getting our little neuro pad here. And wrap this around him. Just to kind of make him feel secure. That's one of the things, if they can feel a little bit of pressure on all sides, that helps them quite a bit. The other thing, again, is a little just gentle pressure on their eyes. I'm hardly putting any pressure at all on him, but that does just make them feel a little more secure with that. So these are not aggressive animals by any means. So if something is happening where they seem to be acting out, it's because they're afraid, okay? And it's kind of a self-preservation type thing for them. So those are a couple of things to keep in mind there. If you're at a clinic that has a cat bag, you can very easily use a cat bag on these guys. Here we go. Pick up his back end. Nestled right in there. We'll zip this off. It's really, really important to make sure, like I keep a finger in here as I'm zipping. Thanks, Courtney. Rabbits have super, super delicate skin. So it's really important not to get that zipped up in there. So this is a nice little restraint mechanism for him too. So we have access to both the front legs, back legs here. You can unzip it from here. So this is a nice little restraint method too. Okay. Okay. As with all animals, it's important not to let them overheat. So we got to keep an eye on that too. Things to be aware of with rabbits, they like to chew. So when we have them hospitalized or something, we don't put towels in with them. They like to chew towels. For a substrate in the bottom of the cage, we just put hay down. Hay is safe for them. If all you have is straw, that's fine. There's just not really a lot of nutrient value. Keep in mind that a kennel door, if you have just a kennel that's stainless steel, those are very slippery, not very good for their backs. So if there's something else you can put down that you feel confident they're not going to chew on, that's going to injure them, then I think that's a good idea. But you do need to make sure that whatever you put down is safe for them to eat. Okay, so for putting him back in his carrier, anytime you're putting them back somewhere, technically you should put them back in with their rear end first. Now he may be willing to just go back in on his own, and that's fine, but just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to do it the other way. The reason you don't just put them in head first is because they may want to kick out, and again, we have to worry about their back end and injuring their back. So whether it's putting them into like a round pen or their kennel, you tend to want to just kind of ease them back in this way, nice and gentle, and then they're home. All right, great.